Hi guys, in this video we're talking about publishing applications using the Browser Access Control Applications Portal. So this is our clientless feature here at Cato, so you don't have to have a Cato client running to access internal applications. Let's get started. So first and foremost, you're going to go out to the actual applications portal. So you're going to go to Access, Browser Access Control, and then you can see here I have a number of applications. So you can name them, and you're going to see all the different connection types. In this case, let's just go to New here to show you what that looks like. You're going to select the connection parameters, HTTP, RDP, SSH. For this course, we're going to focus on HTTP. Then you put in the host name, the host address, and then you got the application display settings, and you can change the thumbnail. Once you have that set up, then you have to set up an access policy. So you're going to go and set up an access policy to give you zero trust principles. In this case, I said contractor access, what are my users, and what are the applications. I can change users. Maybe I have intra ID set up, already brought in user groups. I can then add a user to this if I wanted to, and then there they go. I can select them. So you can either do manual users you already have set up, or your intra ID users you have set up in Cato. And then you add and change the applications you want to have access to this group. So you limit the applications to zero trust principles of just the things this group should have access to. So make sure and set that up. Let's go back out to the applications. Let's show you an application I already have set up. So in this case, I'm going to go to connection parameters. I have a dvwa linux.snowlab.local HTTP box. It's on port 8080. I can use a source NAT IP range if I have firewall or ACL rules that I need to adhere to. Here's the application display settings. You can say DVWA is the display name. That's going to show up in the application portal. What's that URL prefix? That's the DVWA Linux dash or via that you'll see at the beginning. And then you can change the actual application thumbnail. Guys, you need to make sure before you actually test this that you're on the Cato client and you test it with the Cato client before you actually expect it to work on the application portal. Here's why. If it doesn't work when you're connected with that same user using the Cato client, it's not going to work on the client's portal. It's easier to troubleshoot that application using the Cato client. So let's start there. So in this case, I have dvwa linux.snowlab.local. I'm connected to the Cato client with the same user I'm going to use to be able to log into the clientless. I'm going to go out here and I can see that works. dvwa snowlab.local, right? Hit refresh. There it still is. Okay, great. So now I know that works. Now let's disconnect that same user. Let's go out to the application portal and hit dvwa. So now I'm actually into that application. So now I know it works from the Cato client. I tested that, and it also works when I turn it off and access it via the application portal. All right, so in summary, let's go out here and show you when you go to Access, Browser Access Control, here's where you can build your application. You set up your access policy. You test that application first with the Cato SDP client, turn it back off, and then access the application via the application portal. All right, guys, thanks so much. I hope this was helpful.